Imagine the heavy, suffocating dust settling, just moments after a fierce martial arts clash. The air is thick, metallic. It's literally pulsing with the aftermath of violence. The mighty Golden Wheel monk, this figure of absolute, terrifying power, is standing there reeling. His legendary iron wheel clatters against the cold stones, and a chilling, pale laugh escapes his lips. We are stepping into a space where raw physical power meets profound emotional depth.
Ask the world, what is love that makes couples vow to die together? It's such a melancholic, profound question, isn't it? And it hangs so heavy over this Zhenghu world. You see, this isn't just a realm of clashing swords and martial supremacy. It's a universe where the emotional stakes, the heartbreak, and those unspoken vows, they're just as lethal and just as binding as any blood oath.
Section 1. The Stone Array Battle. Now, the Golden Wheel monk is usually an absolute force of nature, but here he finds himself unexpectedly injured and stumbling. He isn't being beaten by a stronger fist, though. No, he's physically and mentally trapped within Wang Rong's intricate, maddening stone formation. He is fighting a puzzle he simply cannot comprehend.
So who steps up to control all this chaos? A voice calls out, "Hornwood Dragon," becomes Neck Metal Dragon, and out of the shifting shadows steps a mysterious girl. Her face is horribly scarred, but she doesn't use martial force. With this unnerving calm, she uses the 28 constellations to manipulate the massive stones, shifting the entire array with mathematical precision, forcing the terrified monk into a desperate retreat.
Section 2. A Quiet Recovery. From the harsh grinding of heavy stones, we transition seamlessly into a hushed, intimate silence. Deep within a secluded bamboo hut, far, far away from the blood and the shouting, a heavily injured Yang Guo slowly awakens. The contrast is really striking. We go from the violent roar of the Zhenghu to the quiet, gentle rustle of bamboo leaves in the wind.
In that secluded space, Yang Guo receives such tender, almost motherly care. He's trapped in a delirious state, and he actually mistakenly calls his masked savior Auntie. He's longing for Shaoling Na. Yet the scarred girl doesn't turn him away. She just sits by his bed, sewing meticulously tailored clothes to replace his bloodied rags. And, in a deeply personal touch, she feeds him zongzi, those sweet and savory rice dumplings that carry the comforting, quiet taste of her distant hometown.
Even in his fever, though, Yang Guo's mind is sharp. He pieces together these torn scraps of paper he finds discarded in the hut, and the reconstructed calligraphy reveals a single, beautiful line from the classic Book of Odes. "Since seeing the gentleman, how could I not be joyful?" It's a breathtaking, completely unspoken confession. The girl's hidden affection is concealed right there, behind layers of ink, poetry, and that frightening mask.
But as we know in the martial arts world, peace is an illusion that shatters quickly. The frantic, breathless arrival of Lu Wushuang tears right through their sanctuary. She's fleeing a deadly pursuer, and in the chaos, she reaches out and pulls the mask right off the mysterious girl. The revelation is stunning. Beneath the terrifying disguise is her cousin Cheng Ying, a beautiful, incredibly elegant disciple of the legendary Peach Blossom Island.
The threat builds rapidly into an inescapable escalation. At dawn, the terrifying Red Date Fairy, Li Mo Chu, zeroes in on their fragile sanctuary. By morning, a clash of unimaginable pressure begins, and it isn't until midday that a legendary figure finally steps in to stop the slaughter.
Section 3. The Musical Duel. Now, this isn't a fight with steel. It's a purely abstract, auditory battle where martial arts mastery and lethal inner chi are channeled directly through sound waves. It's an invisible, suffocating clash of wills that literally turns music into a weapon of mass destruction.
Cheng Ying desperately plays her zither, projecting these peaceful, harmonious melodies inspired by the Book of Odes, trying to build a shield of joy. But against her, Li Mo Cho counterattacks purely with her singing. Her voice is sorrowful, tragic, and utterly heartbroken. She is weaponizing her own grief, using a melancholic song to literally tear at the souls and internal organs of her listeners. The physical, visceral tension is just unbearable. Under the overwhelming weight of Li Mo Chao's sorrowful attacks, the first string snaps under sheer acoustic pressure. Then, the second string breaks from the clash of internal chi. Finally, the fifth string violently bursts. Cheng Ying's defense is literally falling apart right in her hands.
The zither is silenced.
Li Mochu's lethal, mournful voice hangs in the air, wrapping around them like a shroud. So who can possibly break her deadly rhythm before it claims their lives?
Section 4. The Eastern Heretic. The answer to who can break the rhythm shatters the tension in the most bizarre way imaginable. Enter Gu, a seemingly simple-minded woman who charges into the room singing children's songs, armed with nothing but a rusty fire pitchfork. Her 3 simple, unyielding, and completely irrational moves utterly baffle the expert assassin. Li Mocho's sophisticated, lethal techniques are entirely useless against pure, uncalculated chaos.
But the true savior is the man who follows. He is Dongshe, the Eastern Heretic, Huang Yaoshi, a legendary grandmaster of Peach Blossom Island. He calmly sits down amidst all the wreckage, takes over the broken zither, and effortlessly overpowers Li Mocho, drowning her deadly rhythm with her very own song.
What unfolds next is this beautiful bond of heretics. Yang Guo, the rebellious wounded youth, and Huang Yaoshi, the eccentric legendary elder, they instantly connect. They bridge a massive generational divide over their shared, defiant rejection of traditional, rigid societal rules. It is a profound meeting of 2 brilliant, unconventional minds who absolutely refuse to bow to the world's expectations.
Section 5. The Blacksmith's Revelation. Following this triumph, the narrative shifts to a much darker, heavier atmosphere. We find our young heroes seeking a desperate tactical advantage in a ruined, desolate blacksmith shop. The shadow of the Red Date Ferry still looms large, and they know a final confrontation is inevitable.
Here, Yang Guo's improvisational genius shines softly through the gloom. He carefully observes the specific injury on Gu. He analyzes the mechanics of Li Mocho's primary weapon, her flexible, seemingly indestructible whisk. And he sketches an unorthodox countermeasure, massive iron scissors, specifically designed to cut the assassin's deadly reach right down to size.
But the atmosphere in this shop is deeply melancholic. They present their design to a crippled, aging blacksmith named Feng Mofeng. He's a man forging steel under the heavy, terrifying shadow of an impending Mongolian invasion. He is a forgotten man, striking a hammer against an anvil in a world that is just about to burn.
The quiet rhythm of his hammer is suddenly broken by a chilling challenge. Li Mocho leaves a mocking note nailed to the shop. Peach Blossom Island Master, many disciples, 5 against 1, a laughingstock. She is deliberately, arrogantly insulting the legendary legacy of the Eastern Heretic, trying to goad the young heroes into despair right in front of the old blacksmith.
It's a deliberate insult to the tragic, haunting roster of Huang Yaoshi's disciples. Qualling Feng, legs broken and killed. The twisted copper and iron corpses. Lu Chengfeng, crippled. The brilliant Wang Rong. And finally, Feng Rafeng, the crippled left leg, the exiled blacksmith. As the assassin mocks his master, this broken, forgotten man grips his hammer, systematically preparing to defend his master's honor against an untouchable killer. This brings us to a deeply emotional climax. Through Cheng Ying's gentle, careful words, Feng Mafeng realizes a profound truth. His beloved master, who broke his leg and exiled him decades ago, deeply regrets his actions and has finally forgiven him. As the weight of 30 years of exile lifts, the old man weeps. His tears fall onto the red-hot iron of the anvil, hissing instantly into steam. Can a forgotten, crippled disciple, armed with nothing but a blacksmith's hammer and the memory of his master, possibly stand against the untouched, deadly Red Date Ferry? We will leave you to ponder that impending clash as we conclude this explainer. Keep exploring and keep questioning.